All right. Let's figure out how to fix this camera, shall we? There we go. I'm glad to be back. It's been a while. I'm going to make this as quick as I possibly can. Today we're going to be reviewing Eternals. If you want my basic thoughts and get out of the way quick, it sucks. It's terrible. It's garbage. Don't watch it. Don't bother. It's not something that's worth your time. Not in the slightest, okay? Um, it screws with the MCU's overall, you know, basic guidelines. It screws with the story of the MCU. It screws with the what's the word? The continuity. It screws with the continuity. The characters are bland. The coloration is bland. The suits, as you can see on screen, are absolutely terrible. I mean, they are garbage. They're basically just Power Rangers costumes, but on a lower budget somehow. Now, look, this isn't me trying to knock the entire film. I think there's maybe one or two good things in here that you could use to make an actually good story. But as for this story, nah, you're not going to get it there. So I'll keep it brief. I'll keep it, relatively quick. I won't take up too much of your time. Um, let's start with the beginning. The Eternals arrive on Earth. They arrive on Earth. They do their thing. They go on. They help humanity, evolve throughout the years. And then when it comes to present day, they find out, oh no, we've actually been super weapons this entire time, helping to propagate the destruction of the Earth in 7,000 years, um, which is both stupid and an interesting concept. The reason why it falls flat on its face in this movie is because it screws with continuity. And also the way the Eternal works doesn't make any sense. Is it humans in general, or is it just people on Earth? Because if it's just beings that live on Earth, then that means that any alternate being that has a higher energy than humans would speed up the clock when we're talking about the increased population on the planet Earth. But if it's humans in general, then how many humans are out there in the universe right now doing their thing and speeding up the clock all at the same time? Not to mention, is it just human life? I mean, what if it's animal life too? I mean, you're telling me that apparently the billions of years that the MCU's Earth has existed, that in all that time there wasn't enough life on Earth to create this emergence, is what they called it. Really? That doesn't make any sense. The main character that we follow in the movie is Cersei. Basically, she's a worthless person. She has one power. She's able to manipulate certain things and turn them into other certain things. And she's never once tried to try this on living matter. And it only happens. She only figures out she can do that like a day before she needs to use it to save the planet. So there's some great writing. Look. Oh my gosh, this movie frustrates the crap out of me. It's terrible. I'm gonna move on to a couple other images that I've got here. Oh yeah, this whole romance thing right here on the screen that you're looking at, it's not existent. It's basically two mannequins slapping up against each other. That's all it is. The Eternals is shot in a very dim, very bland lit way. It's terrible. The cinematography is garbage. Every single action scene in this movie doesn't work. None of the character moments that you're supposed to think work are good. Gilgamesh doesn't do anything. He's the strongest of them. And all he does is punch. That's all he does. He goes, ooh, I can punch things. That's all he does. They literally watch the movie. I mean, don't watch the movie. It's terrible. But if you watch the movie, you see that all he does is go like this. He powers up his fist and he goes, ugh. That's it. That's all he does. That's all he does. And then he gets killed like a wimp when he gets slaughtered instantly when he goes up against the big bad. That is, well, I mean, the big bad. There really is no big bad. Every single character in this that is supposed to be the antagonist is a morally ambiguous individual who doesn't actually uh, have any true evil behind them. Icarus is just following orders. The supposed big bad, which is the main cable monster, is trying to fight for his survival, and the Celestial that's being born is literally just a baby Celestial, out of its gestation egg sooner or later. Yeah, no, it's just it's so bizarrely terrible, ridiculous. This entire movie is the the problem with trying to make it so that your character, your antagonists have sympathy is that now you can't make good antagonists. You can make, Thanos is not a sympathetic character. Thanos is a character that you can understand has a motivation, not a good motivation. It's just a motivation. You understand the motivation. When it comes to characters in this movie, none of them have good motivations at all. They're all just bland robots following orders until they decide, oh, maybe we shouldn't follow orders. That's another thing, too. In all of the supposedly billions of years that Ajax helped the Celestials destroy every single planet in the universe so that another planet could be made so that other Celestials could be born, only in the last 7,000 years did she decide to switch over to the enemy team. Really? That's what? Why? This 7,000 year period that you spent on Earth is essentially a weekend, maybe even just a few hours in your perspective of time. You decided in what is a few hours of your time, in your perspective of time, to just give up everything that you believed in. Really? That doesn't make any sense. That would be like me on my deathbed renouncing God, denouncing God and saying, never mind, I don't believe in him. That's wild. That's wild. It doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense at all. Now, and moving on to another picture here. This is look at the difference in terms of the actual color quality in comparison to the comics. In this, you got Icarus. He's all jacked up. He's got the gold laser shooting out of his face. You got the energy coming off of him. It's in different colors. He's got red, blue, and yellow all in one. You got the other Eternals back there behind him. Well, yeah, and it looks so much better here. It's such a unique looking character too. I mean, it's awesome. Now, if you take a look at this little slide here, this is a look at what the Rotten Tomato score is. Now, typically I don't trust the Rotten Tomato score, and it's actually really sad to see the the audience score so high. Basically, what you're seeing there, though, is that's just the Marvel shills coming out to pander for the movie. That's really all it is. The tomato meter, you got 48% for critic reviews, and basically that's just saying the critics are finally saying, this is one step too far. We cannot continue to watch this movie. We cannot continue to support and just be shills. So, look, I'm gonna leave it on this slide. I'm gonna rant for the next 2 minutes. This movie has potential. It really does. You can make a good story in regards to these characters. You really could. The problem is that you hire a woman of color or ethnic descent to write a story that she's not prepared for, and you say, oh yeah, don't worry about the action scenes, we've got those covered, and don't worry about any of the actual story, we're just going to push it through anyways. They come up with bullcrap reasons for things to happen. The characters are somehow hateful towards Icarus in the last 15 minutes of the movie, despite the fact that every time they've met him, or every time we've seen them together, they were all like, oh yeah, Icarus is a good dude. Yeah, and then suddenly, like I said, in the last 15 minutes, it's like, oh my gosh, no, he's evil, we hate him. You got the fat, the fastos, the guy who doesn't fast at all. He's like, I've been waiting to cut your wings for a long time, Icarus. That's pretty much how he says it too. He's like, Icarus. There's no fluid lines of dialogue in this film at all. Everything makes zero sense in terms of the speech patterns of these people. Seriously, in the opening lines of two of the three opening lines of dialogue in this movie are, "It's beautiful, isn't it?" coming from Cersei, and then Icarus responds with, "I'm Icarus," and then they just hold hands. What? What is that? What is that? Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, I'm calming down. Look, I've only got about 20 seconds left before my camera decides it's going to die on me. So, like and subscribe. Please follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I'm not sure if I'll even include those. I don't know why I said that. But thanks for tuning in. This has been Sweaty Tabs. Stay sweaty. That's really all I can say.